Just kidding, not just straight water.
I'm too old to drink.
Okay. There's a birthday party happening upstairs. Where? And it's all for me. Who the fuck cares?
Ego is all a fantasy. It's all in your mind. It's all fake. But yeah, this was an important year. I lived, loved, laughed a lot, and I officially became the most stereotypical Gen Z kid ever.
Hi, my name is Jordan Mitchell. I want to take a gap year, and I was wondering what my next steps were. All right, have a nice day.
You too, bye.
Bye.
What the fuck? I dropped out of school, started doing freelance videography, got into tech, NFTs, and fast forward, now I work as a content designer at a crypto company, which is officially the most Gen Z job ever. Throughout all of that, I interspersed it with basically a constant state of existential crisis.
I'm really unhappy.
And so it's the end of the year, it's an important time to reflect, reevaluate, meditate on who I am as a person. All of the things that white girls love to talk about on their stories. And I love to pretend that I'm above all of it. Birthday's just another day. But to be honest, last night, it took me like 3 hours to fall asleep because I was thinking about stuff. I know 21 is still young as fuck, but like the last year, I've always been the youngest person in the room. And it feels good. It's a good little ego boost. When the NFT project I was working on launched last year, we had a launch party at that bar and I couldn't get in. The bouncer didn't let me in because I wasn't 21 for the event that I was putting on. That shit was so embarrassing. For like 5 minutes, I wanted to cry. But then after that, ego through the roof. That's a fire story. You'd be like, yeah, you know, I'm 20. I ran the event, but I couldn't get in. Like, that's how much of a young Don I am. All ego. And to be honest, that shit scares the fuck out of me. Like, damn, you're that deprived for validation that you let that much success get to your head? Like, it's one thing for Kanye to let success get to his head. Those people are at the top of their class. Like, I'm literally a college dropout with an entry-level position at a startup. And I think just because I did it without a college degree, I'm something. Maybe I'm just a narcissist, but I'd like to believe that everybody goes through that to an extent. I think your career is just a cycle of doing some shit, failing or succeeding, letting it get to your head and thinking that you're a loser or the smartest person in the room, and then getting over it and then doing some more shit. And I want to just shorten the gap of spend as much time in the doing shit phase and less time in the others. Because for me, when I look back at when ego took the most control of my life, it was when I was most distant from reality. It's when I had beef with somebody and I would stew over arguments in my head about why they should respect me. But then you see the person in real life and things are normal. When I need to edit a video and I come up with excuses for so long about how it's a bad idea or I don't want to do it, you finally force yourself to sit down and do it and you realize, shit, it's not that bad and I kind of like doing this. But it's all ego. It's funny, like you think so many people care, but then you actually do it and nobody gives a fuck. Like, it's so embarrassing. When I started, everybody else doesn't give a fuck. My aunt has a book that she's writing, and I haven't read it, but it's called You Make Your Path by Walking, and I really like that phrase. And in my 21-year-old wisdom, I think that's the cure to ego. When I'm fully present and I'm just doing shit, my ego disappears. This is kind of ooga booga logic, but like if I'm focused on kicking a soccer ball, I literally can't have an ego. You're in the middle of the road. You literally can't hold those two things in your head. That's what flow is, right? Like when you're working on something that you really love and you lose track of time, you feel like you're floating, you're literally losing your sense of self. This sounds super fluffy to talk about, but if you know the feeling, everybody knows the feeling. You feel like you blend in, you don't see your body, you just see the shit that you're working on. And so, if I could sum up all the things I've learned in the last year, I think it would mostly come down to just do some shit. It's such basic advice, especially when you've thought about it for so long, but I've noticed it a lot in the people I look up to when I hear them talk in interviews.
You know, we wouldn't be like, so we want to go start a boy band, a DJs, call it Ben Trill, run around the world and make t-shirts. You know, like, it's not even about anything else but just doing it.
I love making a plan. Literally last year, I spent weeks putting together a spreadsheet with math equations and formulas about what career I wanted to do. And I spent more time thinking about that than actually trying the things that I was predicting if I would like. Fuck, I don't...
I think that's a documentary?
Yeah.
All right, man. Go on do your thing, man. Respect. Respect, man. What's up? Hey, man, follow me on Instagram.
We have 300 subscribers. Can't let the free promo. Can't fuck up the rates. 20 cents per video subscription. Alex Hormozy talks about this idea. If something's like an omnipotent being, like an all-powerful God, as they think, it just happens. Oh my God, it's my wallet right here. If they think, so it is. And so that's what I've been really trying to focus on, is like shortening the time span from idea to execution. And if the execution is trash, then that's fine. Like, you're supposed to be trash. Over time, I can make the thing better. Like, if I make 100 videos, by the 100th video, I'm gonna be better at making videos. Put in the amount of hours where it would be ridiculous if you weren't one of the best in the world. It would be unreasonable. Somebody would look at me and like, wow, you really wasted 5 years of your life obsessing over this and you're still trash. I feel like I would have so much more ownership over that than what I have now, where I'm just straight potential. I hate the idea of potential. I remember talking about it with my friend Jaden when we were kids playing basketball, how people would say, oh, you have potential. And that's such a backhanded compliment. It's like, oh yeah. You're smart, you could be good, but you're not right now. It's like, fuck potential. And I think that's why I love the tech industry so much, because it's so practical. When I talk to my friends who run startups, especially the early stage ones, I'll talk to them on Monday about an idea that they have, and on Wednesday they will have already done it and tested it, as opposed to predicting and then continuing predicting. I don't even know what the end of that cycle is. You just are in a constant state of planning. But that's enough self-righteous ranting for the day. Anyways. Subscribe to my OnlyFans and DM me for feed pics.